Hey, what's going on? Joe for the Joe Wentz Project right here on the Joe Wentz Project TV right here on YouTube. Thank you for tuning into this video, and today I want to talk about this guitar right here. This is a Peavey Wolfgang Special, and I ordered this guitar in 2020. It was right about 2 or 3 months before Eddie Van Halen passed away. So I was in the market for a Peavey Wolfgang Special. I had my very first Peavey Wolfgang Special. I'd sold it about 9 years ago, and the reason I know this is because a memory came up on my Facebook feed like 2 or 3 days ago. I was needing tires when I had Big Blue, my Dodge Ram. In order to get the money up for the tires, I had to sell something. So I sold the Purple Peavey Wolfgang Special. Now, it wasn't a quilt purple. It was just like a flat color. My first Peavey Wolfgang Special I ever had. Got it from a music store back in the day called Express Music. It came with a hard shell case. It was on sale for $7.99. Can you believe it? About 9 years ago, like I said, I put it on Craigslist. I was getting offers left and right. You know, people try to lowball the hell out of you when it comes to stuff like that. Then I got a phone call. I got a phone call from a gentleman. He asked me if I still had the guitar for sale. I said, yes, I do. Asking me all these questions, and this phone call was different than the other phone calls I received within the past few days. He was really thorough. He sounds like he knows his stuff about guitars. I still remember, because I was coming back, I think I was coming back from Charleston one night for work. I was delivering the load down to Charleston. I was on the way back, and I want to say it was storming. It was like raining or something. And he called. And so I talked to him for a little bit, and I asked him if he was serious about buying it, because, you know, when you're dealing with stuff like this online, you know, trying to sell something, you get a lot of crazy things from people. And he said he was very serious. And then he told me that he was a luthier for Gibson. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought, I was like, yeah, right. He said, I'm coming into town. I'm going to see the Van Halen show in Charlotte. And this is Van Halen's last hurrah with Dave, right? I said, sure, man. I said, yeah, that sounds good. He said, I'll call you back in the next couple of days to make sure you still have it. A couple of days came, and he kept his word. He called. We decided to meet in Gaffney under this water tower. It's the shape of a big peach, because when you're coming down the road, the interstate, and you see that water tower, it looks like something different than a peach. I'll just leave that there. You can use your own imagination. I figured that'd be a good place to meet. It's kind of near a shopping mall and all that stuff, you know. He said, okay. He said, yeah, I know where it's at. I left the house here, and, you know, from here to that point, it's a good little drive, man. It's probably about, oh, man. It probably took me an hour. I got there. He got out of the car, and another gentleman was with him. I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was a family member or if it was just a friend. I don't recall. But he got out, and he had these shades on, and he walked up and we shook hands, and he was super nice, man. And I had the guitar. I got it out of the back of the truck. Yeah, I didn't want to sell it, man. I didn't want to sell it, but I needed the money. You know, we've all sold gear that we wish we still had. And there's been cases where I've sold gear, and then a little bit of time passed by, and I bought it again, new, offline. It's not the same as what you had before, you know, but, you know, it is what it is. So I got the guitar out of the back of the truck, walked over to the back of his, he had like an SUV. He had like 6 or 7 hard shell guitar cases already in the back of his SUV. I said, man, did you bring all those with you? Because he was out of, he said he worked out of the Gibson factory or whatever in Nashville. So when I saw the hard shell cases, I just assumed he brought those with him. He said, nah, man, I've been out guitar shopping today. I've been going to different places and buying guitars from stores. your guitar is my last purchase, he said. He's been out just guitar shopping all day long, man. I said, that was impressive to me, having like 6 or 7 hard shell cases, and he's buying, and there's no telling what he paid for these guitars. So he opened up the case to the Peavey, and he looked at it. He goes, "Yeah, man, it looks great." He paid me the money. I mean, he got it for a steal. That's usually what happens when you need money fast. You'll sell it cheap. He was really easy to talk to, man. He was super nice, and he said, "Man, I got something I want to show you." At the time, there was no striped guitars from EVH. All right, none of those were around yet. Those did not exist yet. So if you wanted a striped guitar, you had to either do it yourself, or somebody did it on the black market, or whatever you want to call it. So he pulls out this guitar case, and he flips open the latches, and he pops out a Peavey Wolfgang Special, and it's striped up. It looks incredible. It looks amazing, and everything. And he said, "Yeah, man, I built this." Now the picture's starting to get really clear. I'm like, holy crap, this guy, I think he's the real deal, man. He's not just blowing smoke, right? It was a really hush-hush kind of thing at the time. You really weren't supposed to do something like that, from what I was told. It was kind of a top secret thing, but he knew I was a huge fan of Van Halen, and I wore the stripe. I still got it somewhere. I got this red t-shirt with the black and white stripes, just like that right there. And if I'm holding that guitar and I'm wearing that shirt, it looks camouflaged. It's almost hard to tell the guitar from the shirt. But so he knew I was a big fan, and he said, "I'm going to show you this," which I built. But you can't really say a lot. Not that I have anybody to tell it to. I said, "Yeah, sure, man." And he pulled it out of the case, and he showed it to me, and I asked him, I said, "Man, can I hold it?" And he's like, he kind of hesitated for like 2 seconds. He goes, "Yeah, sure." And he let me hold it. The neck, everything felt incredible. And the action, I mean, it was set up perfect. I mean, it was awesome. And I wish there was an amp, or something around at the time, but there wasn't. And I said, "Man, can I?" And I had my phone, and I asked his buddy, I said, "Can you take my picture with this guitar?" And he's like, "Yeah." So the gentleman that bought the guitar from me, his name was Dion Edge. Super, super nice guy. So he stood beside me, and I put my arm around it. He was so approachable, man, so nice. So he let me hold that prototype that he built. And I guess he did it just for his own entertainment. He has built a bunch of striped guitars over the years, and he's built a lot of guitars for a lot of heavy hitters in the Nashville scene and musicians. I mean, you name it. I mean, he's built guitars for big name players, man. I got a couple of pictures, and we talked for a couple of minutes, and that was it. He was gone. And so long to the Purple Peavey, But the cool thing about Dion, he's the one that shared that photo on his Facebook timeline a few nights ago. And for some reason, it didn't come up on my Facebook feed, but it did his, and he shared it, and he tagged my name, and it said 9 years ago. And so it was, that I was glad to see the guitar go to somebody who was going to take care of it. Because all of us, man, as guitar players, we look at these things as pieces of art. I do. I don't look at these things as something to smash on the ground and tear up like you see other musicians do in the past. I was like, man, there's no way I'd do that. If you're going to smash it up, hell, give it to me. I'll take it. But Dion was a cool cat, man. And but I've never seen him since then. So every once in a while he posts on Facebook. He'll post the guitar and stuff out of his workstation where he's at, of some really awesome guitars. He posts pictures of people he's done guitar work for, and so it was cool to actually to meet him and to know that, you know, he's in the guitar business, but he's also in the guitar business to help people, but he's also a super down-to-earth nice guy. So that's my story about the Purple Peavey Wolfgang Special that is no longer around. It's gone, but it's in a good home now. Thanks for watching this video. If you like what you saw, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.